Alright guys, we haven't left ourselves a lot of time here to set a qualifying lap. I think we're only going to be able to set one lap. So let's try and make sure it's a clean one. So this is Circuit de Ledanon, I believe. We're fairly new to this one. We've had a few races already, which have been pretty fun. There's quite a lot of corners to this track. Pretty interesting feel. There's not a lot of brake markers around here. Lots of elevation changes, camber changes, just unique oddball sections to the track. Coming up to this one, there's a big spire on the right, and then there's a little one that appears here, and you just sort of turn in just after you see that. And then here, I mean, there's so many different ways you can take this one. It's really long left-hander, tightens, and then into this downhill section. And then at the bottom of the hill here, really unique braking zone. I like to brake just sort of as much as a straight line. You see, if you turn a little bit, amplifies it because it's negative G, you're under braking. So yeah, just trying to straighten out that braking zone is pretty useful. So just got to focus here on making sure I don't dirty the lap up going off track or anything. So I'm going to sort of try and take it nice and easy, not push it too much here. But I do want to set a competitive lap so that I can start up at the front of the pack as much as possible. Here's quite difficult. If you down change at the wrong time there into first, you will spin out. Because there's a lot of weird angles in the tarmac through the apex. And here, I'd say powering out later is sort of a better option than trying to get on the power too early. Normally just makes you understeer wide and then have to lift off anyway. A little bit of lift off or brake here. Actually no, a little bit of brake's better, so you don't run too wide. You can run a little bit wide, but you do risk getting an off track, of course. And then a little spire appears there on the horizon for this blind corner. You need some sort of reference for turning there, otherwise you're completely blind. And then pretty slow out of there. But looks like we're going to be able to do a clean lap. Try and straighten this braking zone out here as much as possible. And then there we go. Lots of hilly spots on this track, ups and downs, and lots of tight corners. Pretty high level stuff, I'll be honest. It's not a beginner's track, I wouldn't say at all. And that's it, we're out of time for another lap, but we set one. 1:36.7. It's not exactly shameful, but I don't think it's going to be getting us in the podium for the start of the race. Yeah, we're currently in, right down there in 6th. We've got 2 people who've set a lap below us. So this one's going to be interesting. So let's hit the grid. You can hear some French people going off in the background there. I have got
1,349. It's competitive out there. Head
looks
down,
like my
sharp.
looks like my rating's gone down a little bit. It was about 1500 at some point.
Waiting on the final car to grid.
And I do have my inputs at the top left of the screen if you want to check my pedal inputs, maybe compare them to your own. And if yours is better than mine and you're going around quicker, please let me know what I'm doing wrong, or if I helped you out. Let me know. Let me know how I helped. Interesting to see. You've got a grey line in the middle of that, which shows you the steering input, which I've never really taken an interest in, but it could be useful.
Green flag, green flag.
Off we go. Pretty underwhelming start in the MX5s. They're very well, they're not underpowered, but they're low powered, but they're very lightweight. Just hugging the inside round here for the first lap is usually a good bet. I will have a look on the outside here, seeing as that guy was hugging the inside, and people do tend to go around a little bit slowly through here for lap 1 and otherwise.
Stay on the left. Clear the
Got this
right.
guy on the inside here, which is proving a little bit difficult.
Stay on the left.
I don't want to lose 2 positions here. This green car might
Stay on the left.
have an option. I don't want him to cut across there.
Stay on the left.
Hugging the inside nicely there. We get to exit there without losing another position. We've definitely still got 2 cars close behind though, so we're going to have to be careful. Watch for a dive here if anyone's interested in diving. I've had it happen before. We don't have anyone diving us, that's great. So currently sitting in 6th. Can't even see the spire on the horizon there because the car's in the way. Oh, felt the tail end go out there, and I've given up the place there.
Stay on the right.
And he's lost control there. I think he's tried to avoid me
There's an incident
and ended up oversteering through there. I did give him enough room though, so no worries there. Pretty bad exit. It's quite important to get a good exit there because you've got all this distance up the straight where you'd make up time. You know, that's how you make up a lot of time on your lap times, is get as much speed down the longer straights, because yeah, that's where your time. Look at that understeer, terrible. Don't get an off track though, we're still on 0x. Let's try and keep it that way. So we've got a lot of work to do. We're still in 6th place. A little bit too tight there, it's a bit rough on the curb. Here there's not really any brake markers to use, so you just have to do it on the gear, on the rev, you know, the rev sound to be honest, or the time from up changing to 3rd, I believe. How wide these guys went into here. Don't want to get an off track on that. But I also need to be driving aggressively here. I've got Nathan on my tail here. Don't want to brake too late here. It's very easy to try and brake really late for this one, but usually it's not really worth it. See, I had to do a little bit of corrective steering there because it does get very swirly. It doesn't feel like a very good exit, like ever, coming out of there, because you're going uphill after a very tight corner. So, but that was pretty good, I think, as things go. And then a bit of down change here to 3rd's usually good, and then just no pedal input. Maybe a little bit of brake here, and then a down change into 2nd, and then getting on the power enough to not go off, not go wide there. And steering late here is good. Prioritising exit, normally a good idea for most corners. Yeah, so just after changing up to 3rd, you have to brake there, and then you want to straighten up the steering wheel as you get on the power, so you don't spin out coming out of that left-hander. We are catching these guys very slowly. Getting a little bit too much brake input there. Rear tyres complaining quite a lot. Missed a shift there. Very tricky blind corner here. Just easy brake input. Make sure I don't do any lockups or anything like that. And we are right on them now. Gonna have to brake early, I think, coming down here, so I don't going to the back of anyone if something goes wrong. Nearly went wrong there, but we're alright. And with the up changes on this, I used to think you had to wait until it gets into the red, but it's actually you want to change before it hits the red. If it hits the red, you're too late. I noticed that because if you do automatic transmission on iRacing on the MX5s, it will show you that it does that. And you can get, well, I've got faster laps with automatic transmission than I have with manual before, so I don't think it's slower to up change before the red lights. We got a lot of action now. Let's try and keep an eye on the car behind mostly, because we don't want to find ourselves right at the back of this pack. Oh, spotted a mistake there, and he probably just shouldn't have tried to steer back in there. That was foolish. Yeah, he made a mistake and then tried to cover the inside anyway, but we were still there. So we got a little bit of damage. It set us back in terms of our position quite badly. But we've got about 5 minutes left to see what we can make up. I mean, that incident, you could probably argue it either way, to be honest. I think it's one of those ones that just depends on driver personality, driver aggression. I wasn't really having any of him trying to defend the inside after he made that mistake and found himself slow on the outside there, so I'll put that on him in my mind for trying to turn in on me. This guy's going to try and dive up the inside, so we will cover the inside. That's how you do it. He's on the outside, but he's just ahead now, so we might have fluffed that up a little bit. Considered maybe diving up the inside there, but it might have been foolish. Up changing is probably not really necessary coming up to this bit. You know, just want to get in the habit of trying to squeeze it at every extra bit of pace out of what you got. Just get a good exit here, and then we might get a slipstream off one of these guys to make a move. We're down into 8th. We've lost 2 positions from our original 6th place spot. What car's a lap down? There's a car a lap down apparently. I mean, it doesn't really make much difference if they're still racing. I think it's probably this purple car with the blue stripe, to be honest. He's just let the green car go without much hesitation. Yeah, it'll be the purple car. Right, okay. Get a little boost, I guess, on exit. No X, no harm done. Very slow, very slow through there.
The leader just did a 35.941.
35.9, alright. Well, we've set a 35.9, that's our best lap. I guess we should just focus on hot lapping right now. We're in 7th place, so we're not really going to be fighting for position, to be honest. We're going to be looking for low incident points to get our safety rating up. We're currently on 2x, nearly on a 3 there, but we didn't quite go wide enough to get the off track.
Slow car ahead. Car stopped ahead. Go to the top.
Slow car here.
Left side.
Get right past them.
Clear on the left.
Looks like this green car is probably a similar pace to us, so we could get some practice in. See there, we nearly spun out on power somehow in these underpowered cars. A little bit on the playful side through that. Definitely braked too late. Managed to hold the slide. Very interesting dynamic through there. A lot of sliding around.
White flag next time by a stripe.
We got last lap call, so I'm not sure if that would have been a hot lap. Let's have a look. It's the this lap, 36.4, I think. It's okay, actually, not too bad. Apparently got a slow car ahead. I guess that's this black car. Getting into a bit of contact with the green car, looks like. How do I know if they're, I don't know how to know if they're laps or not, you know?
Right side.
Oh look, his tyre, his brakes are overheating, that's cool.
Clear the right.
Bright orange.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 1.7 seconds.
I'm not planning on going for an overtake on either of these guys because I just want to get low incident points here to get my safety rating up. I do want to get out D rating. Been in D rating forever now. Get to C class. That's it. We're in 6th. I mean, pretty annoying about that incident at the start. Have to have a look at that. Yeah, you see, he makes a mistake there. Pretty sure that's on him. So, yeah, you see, he slips up, steers to the outside. So he's going to be completely off racing line. And he's clearly off pace as well. So we're aiming for the apex. We maybe argue we're a little bit wide, but we close up without making contact. We close up so that our line through the middle, our tyre is going to be going over the paint, and we do even go over the curb here. Maybe would have anyway without contact, probably. Pretty sure we would have anyway without contact, but yeah, the guy just steers straight into us. I mean, he could have just, I mean, the position's lost at this point, right? So there's not really any point in him. There's not really any point in him trying to close that up. What do you guys think? I mean, you could argue my wheel is alongside, you know, at this point when I make contact, it's wheel to wheel. So maybe I'm in the wrong here. but I would say that within the rules, you need to be driving predictably on the defense, and this guy is not. This is not a predictable line. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about the incident. I'll show you another view right now. And then we sort of choose the wrong direction to travel, so we get stuck on the guy's door. I think he just keeps his foot in. He keeps his foot on the pedal. He doesn't even hit the brake. If he'd have hit the brake, then maybe we would have got past on his inside, but he just floored it, so it's annoying. But anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.